Oh, she's in a bad place today, you guys. It's bad. She's not
Guys,
feeling better, John. She's not.
I'm not feeling better. Thank you for asking or saying
She's
that, but I am not. I am going to go and get checked out immediately after the show. And so I'm really going to try to keep the show short today, even though there's a lot of stuff. I don't think we're going to end up getting to the JD Vance, filling in for Charlie. Hopefully by now, all of you have seen those clips anyway. But if you
fantastic.
haven't, maybe we'll save that for tomorrow. But we got to keep it short today, you guys.
Mhm.
So we're just going to get right into things and tell you what a complete scumbag Don Lemon is, the reason for my name today. He doesn't believe that when people like us, I guess, or anyone for that matter, is, weeping, is feeling enraged, is feeling sadness over Charlie Kirk, it's not real. We don't care about him, is what he is suggesting. And I would say this is about the biggest amount of projection I have ever seen. Here's Don Lemon.
It is so obvious about it. And I think this is so disgusting is that you don't really care. You don't really care about Charlie Kirk. What you care is that this is a moment that you can use for clicks.
Oh my God.
To boost your podcast or your streaming show or your radio show or your television show or your news show or your MAGA bona fides with the MAGA group or your political stripes, that you can improve it, or you can have a moment where you're crying in front of the cameras. You gather all the reporters at the Capitol and you go, and it's your fault, and it's your fault, and it's the left and whatever.
He is such a piece of crap. I can't. And all the things he's accusing people like us of, he's doing. Right. He's trying to get clicks and engagement and all that kind of stuff. So, and I feel sorry for people like him because he'll never understand what it's like to feel the way that we feel about Charlie Kirk and just conservatism in general and Christianity and Jesus. He doesn't get it. I feel sorry for him. I really do. It sucks for him.
Is there anybody on the left that would be comparable, like would be there, Charlie Kirk? Because I can't think of anybody. No. I really can't.
There isn't. They don't have that. And that's why they don't understand. It's why he can't wrap his brain around it. Like, in a way, it's like he's a horrible jerk. And I rage when I see that. But I also I literally do feel sorry for him because he'll never know it. Yeah. And that sucks. That sucks for him. Sucks for you, dude.
And he probably doesn't even have a dog. Does he? Does he have a dog?
He probably has.
He probably does. He probably has like a little dog.
He has a purse dog, and he puts it in his purse. That's
what I'm guessing.
He's a man purse. Yeah, you guys should get a free Jumpstart bag of Ruff Chicks at ruffchicks.com with promo code Chicks. Just paper shipping. That's all you got to do, and then you can try and give it to your dogs.
It's so good for them. It keeps them alive longer.
I give Theo candy corn, so I have to offset it.
Oh my
and then give him Ruff Greens. It's true.
You give him candy corn?
Just a little bit.
Okay, yeah, you do need to offset for sure.
A tiny bit. He loves candy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
It's that time of year.
All right, let's get to some random headlines from yesterday. You're going to read a lot in this next segment.
I can do that.
Trump has made an announcement about a new lawsuit he is filing. Here is his tweet about it.
Whoa. Okay. Today, I have the great honor of bringing a $15 billion defamation and libel lawsuit against the New York Times, one of the worst and most degenerate newspapers in the history of our country, becoming a virtual mouthpiece for the radical left Democrat Party. I view it as the single largest illegal campaign contribution ever. Their endorsement of Kamala Harris was actually put dead center on the front page of the New York Times, something heretofore unheard of. The Times has engaged in a decades-long method of lying about your favorite president, me, my family, business, the America First movement, MAGA, and our nation as a whole. I am proud to hold this once respected rag responsible, as we are doing with the fake news networks, such as our successful litigation against George Slopadopoulos, ABC, Disney, and 60 Minutes, CBS, Paramount, who knew that they were falsely smearing me through a highly sophisticated system of document and visual alteration, which was in effect a malicious form of defamation and thus settled for record amounts. They practiced this long-term intent and pattern of abuse, which is both unacceptable and illegal. The New York Times has been allowed to freely lie, smear, and defame me for far too long. And that stops now. The suit is being brought in the great state of Florida. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again.
Oh, damn.
It's
so that's happening.
I love it. It's about time.
Yeah. I think they'll end up settling, which is what everybody seems to do. But hopefully it sends a very clear message that the lies have got to stop.
Right. Quit sucking. Start journalisming.
So we talked yesterday about the fact that Charlie Kirk's public memorial is going to be held this Sunday in, I think it's the State Farm Arena in Glendale, Arizona. And, you know, yesterday I mentioned, I was like, I'm trying to get my mom and my parents and my sister to go. And now I'm like, I don't know, man, that seems like a really big bunch of like-minded people and a target. I'm sorry that I think that way.
No,
I can't help it.
When you said that yesterday, that was actually the first thing that popped in my mind.
Really?
I was like, I don't know if it's going to be safe. Like, is it going to be, because there's so many crazy people. I would be afraid to go. I know that's terrible.
Well, and you know, there are reports that this memorial is straining the U.S. Secret Service, already stretched thin by Trump's visit to the UK and the UN General Assembly in New York next week. So officials are already warning the high-profile event is a potential target, requiring counter snipers, crowd defenses, coordination across multiple decks of law enforcement. I mean, that really freaks me out. Not that I want to hide, you know what I mean?
Right,
like, not because Charlie would not want that.
And they win if you do that. That's
exactly.
Right.
But it just, everybody needs to be taking, you know, a lot of precautions.
Head on a swivel. Head on a
totally
swivel. Right. And and another thing I'd just like to point out is that when that dumbass kid was up on the roof, some people saw him.
Right.
And they didn't say anything. You know what I mean?
And they were like, huh, that's weird.
That guy's on the roof. Yeah.
Let me put it on TikTok.
Right. So maybe like when we start seeing things like that, we go, hey, there's a guy on the roof. And we need to start screaming it, you know, and telling people that we see those things. We need to point that stuff out. Yeah.
In other news about Trump, his son Eric has a new book that's coming out or is out. It is called Under Siege, My Family's Fight to Save Our Nation. And it's already jumped to #1 on Amazon, as you would expect. So Trump tweeted about it. He's obviously very proud.
That seems like a good read.
And then in terrible news, I still can't believe New Yorkers are going to do this, but the chances of Zohran Mamdani winning the New York City mayoral election are currently at 82%. What is wrong with New York City voters?
Well, there's a lot of Democrats there, and Democrats now are they're Islamic commies. That's what they like. They want the Islamic commie. So congratulations. This is the Democrat Party now.
You're going to get what you get, I guess.
You get what you get and don't throw a fit. Good luck.
Oh my God.
Godspeed.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Today is the day of the killer's hearing. And so we're finding out more and more details about him, about his plotting, about possibly friends of his knowing in advance that he was going to try to do this to Charlie Kirk. The Washington Post reported that Charlie Kirk's shooting suspect confessed in a Discord group chat, writing, and I quote, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at Utah Valley University yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs." And Discord had immediately and initially come out and said, there's nothing. There's no information that we have to share with you. And now they're like, oh, well, maybe except for this big group text or whatever. So there's that piece of information. And then also the FBI is apparently really looking at some of these other social media posts that were made that we even talked about immediately after the fact. There were these different accounts that seemed to know in advance. And they were talking about, you know, something big is going to happen tomorrow. Just wait, something huge happening. So the investigation has now widened quite a bit to include a lot of the friends of this absolute loser. And you can see, there's no sound, I don't think, but there's like a video that you're about to see that captures some of the comments and the predictions saying September 10th will be a very interesting day.
Yeah.
I mean, that is freaking effed up.
I think it, bears repeating and pointing out that several of the accounts are transgender individuals. We need to point that out.
That's a
Just
who, what,
saying.
why, when, where thing. That is a fact that needs to be out there, that needs to be considered.
I'll repeat that fact because it was written right there. So yeah.
Yeah. You guys, we haven't talked about it in a while, but I have still been loving HomeChef. HomeChef is making dinner preparation so much easier, so much less to think about. This is my favorite meal.
That's
pasta.
We are like I'm eating everything I can get my hands on because it's fall. It's that time of the year and we're all over the place and our schedules are nuts. And there's a lot of like stopping on the way home from practice and getting rushed and, getting takeout. And I know you guys probably have similar circumstances, but HomeChef, they have fresh ingredients, delicious meals. They make things easy. They have 35 meals, 18 extras each week. They have kid and teen friendly options, which is a bonus for me because it makes things way easier, but it's all super fresh, really easy. I don't have to figure out what to buy because I cannot make one more decision during the week or make one more trip to the store. They take it off my plate. And I love that. So they have classic meal kits with like the pre-portioned ingredients. They have 30-minute recipes, oven-ready options. They have microwave meals, which I got to say are my favorite because I never met a microwave that I didn't like.
Those are easy.
Right. And they make everything just a lot easier. And they have special meals for special diets. Like if you're on a particular kind of diet, they have those too. So you can get 50% off and free shipping for your first box, plus free dessert for life.
Life.
Hello. Yeah. Go to homechef.com/chicks. That's homechef.com/chicks for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. You cannot beat that. Do it.
There was an absolutely horrific professor at your alma mater.
Oh yeah.
And I use past tense on purpose. This is just, this is what she focused on. Her specialty areas included queer anthropology, queer theory, feminist anthropology, transnational feminisms, kinship studies, socialism, post-socialism, the list goes on and on. She's obviously
what even is this shit?
Completely batshit. I don't know.
What even is it?
I don't know.
What are you doing, UT? Like, what is that? And I don't usually comment on this stuff, but of course I follow UT because it's where I went. And so they made an announcement. Hey, we fired this person. You would not believe the comments of people who were like, this is so unfair.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, here's what she said to earn her firing about Charlie Kirk. She said, the world is better off without him in it. Even those who are claiming to be sad for his wife and kids, like his kids are better off living in a world without a disgusting psychopath like him and his wife. Well, she is a sick F for marrying him. So I don't care about her feelings. She belongs nowhere.
Right.
In a place that educates kids.
Right. And I usually don't comment on this stuff, but I did. I comment. I'm like, you're not entitled to a job. All right. Yeah. You don't I think that's what people think, that for some reason, it's like, especially in education or something, like when you get in there, you're never going to get fired. Like these people feel like they're entitled to have jobs forever. And all these liberals that are getting fired, they're just like, I can't believe I got fired for being a complete murder enabling asshole. Like what? Why are you surprised? Like, I cannot believe these. That's what really baffles me the most, is that they're so surprised for being fired. It's like they've been protected for being jerks and just being mentally deranged for so long that now we're like, yeah, we're not putting up with your crap anymore. This is real world now. You're fired. And they're like, wait, what? I got fired.
There's the whole discussion around free speech, which is just a bunch of nonsense. Yes, you can have free speech, but you're not free of the consequences of that free speech. And when you show your employer who you are, and that employer thinks you're a pile of shit,
they can fire you.
They have the freedom to fire you.
Exactly.
But that said, Pam Bondi, and I don't have the video, I just saw it this morning, but Pam Bondi was just on the Katie Miller podcast talking about hate speech and how they're going after it everywhere all the time. I am 100% over Pam Bondi. Like she's making the conversation take a turn that it shouldn't be. She should know better. And I just want her to be quiet. She's not helping. Basically.
She's disappointed. She's very disappointing. Right.
Yeah. Okay. So you can read the UT response to this. There's a 2-pager. Here's the first part.
Yeah, this is the one I read yesterday. A campus update. The university has taken swift action against a faculty member who has failed to meet our expectations for civil engagement. Her actions endorsing violence and murder do not represent the university or our values. Well, congratulations, UT.
And then here is part 2 and 3.
The faculty member is out of the classroom, placed on administrative leave, and termination proceedings have begun. Teaching and shaping the lives of young people is core to the mission of the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. We have a great responsibility as educators of America's future leaders to make sure students have a healthy educational environment in which to learn, wrestle with difficult issues, and express themselves civilly. We take that responsibility seriously. Well, thank God. Go Vols.
Way to go. Yeah, way to go, UT. That was really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good. And then I know you were like, I've already read. How much more can I read? Get ready.
I can do it again. It's fine.
Because there is a professor by the name of Trevor Tomesh, I think is his name. He is at the University of Wisconsin River Falls location, and he was disgusted by his own university's lack of a response. And he wrote a very public post, which is pitch perfect. It's a 3-pager. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But get ready to read. Here is the first part.
Here we go. Okay.
Okay,
Wow.
that's just a summary. No, that's just the summary. Sorry.
Okay. I was like, I'm reading that.
Here we go.
Oh my God. I'm a university professor here in Wisconsin. Obligatory disclaimer: these views are mine alone and do not reflect the views of the University of Wisconsin system. The fact that Charlie was killed on a college campus for expressing his opinions and ideas, the one place in society whose sole purpose is to express opinions and ideas, should be a watershed moment for all universities. Every single member of every single university community, faculty, administrators, staff, and students should be lamenting this, as it spells the death of the university. There should have immediately been a press release from every school in the United States condemning this act of ideological violence. Yes. Yep. Students should have been told about the gravity of this situation. Faculty should have been coached on how to explain what freedom of speech looks like. And every classroom should have an entire lecture devoted to why what Charlie was doing was fundamental to the fabric of American society. Instead, hundreds of professors and students celebrated and continue to celebrate.
Here's the next part.
To date, there has been no statement from my university or the University of Wisconsin system. Not a single one of my students heard from any of their professors about this. How do I know? I asked them. Not only did I ask them, but I gave them a 50-minute lecture about why this moment is one of the darkest in American history and how we must pull back from this and encourage dialogue, or the American project is dead. Conservative students and faculty are taking this silence on behalf of administration as an endorsement of violence against them. Yes.
Yeah.
When little 5'4", 96-pound grandma sister Cindy Smock came to our campus to talk to kids about Jesus, they had sent out a campus-wide email telling the students that if they need to talk about their traumatic experience, that counselors are available and there's a safe space where they can go and cry and play with toys. Then they assembled a task force to determine how to handle people like Cindy and the trauma she inflicts on students. When my students witness a man, someone they grew up watching since they were kids, have his throat blown out with the 36 round at a college campus, much like our own, doing something that they are meant to be doing, nothing.
And then here is the last part.
This guy's so spot on. I've written, called, and pleaded with admins on campus to just say something. No return calls, no emails back, no invitations to talk about this, nothing. I had one email the day of telling me, because they know conservative students actually talk to me, that I can send students to the woke counselors in the Diversity, Equity, and Belonging building on campus. Oh, and I got an email reminding me that if I am going to identify myself as a professor, I need to add a variation of the disclaimer I left at the top of this comment. So I am angry. I am disappointed. I am scared shitless. But when I got done with my lecture, which I intend on publishing, I did record it. Nearly every student came to me and shook my hand. One student, Korean, I believe, even gave me a bow. These kids can be saved. There is so much potential in Gen Z. But if the only thing they hear from the institutions of higher learning is extremist propaganda from radical Marxists, many more Charlie Kirks are going to happen, and America will be extinct within the century. Tomorrow is another school week. I'm going to continue to fight like hell, but I can't do this alone, though. I need your help.
That was amazing.
It was amazing. God bless him. That needs to be shared everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we need is more of these professors speaking out, not being afraid to speak out. And by the way, when he was told that he should send, his students to the diversity, equity, inclusion office for counseling, they're not even supposed to have those offices anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? We're not even supposed to have those.
Right.
So
we should just have counselors. WTF.
Right. Exactly. I don't understand.
What does diversity, equity, inclusion have to do with helping kids get through this? What does that have to do with anything? Good Lord.
I know. It's ridiculous. You guys, we had a chance to catch up. It's been a few weeks, but we had a chance to catch up yesterday with our friend from Bulwark Capital Management, Zach Abraham, just to chat, just to chitty chat and record some shows. And he's got another one of his webinars coming up soon.
He does. We did the podcast with him yesterday. He handles me and my husband's financial stuff, and we're due to chat with him probably in the next couple of weeks. Our schedules have been sort of wonky, but we used another guy for years. We did it out of habit. It's like having a hairdresser that you're loyal to and you don't want to cheat on. You guys know what I'm talking about. And then I looked at my husband today and I'm like, we're going to switch to Zach. Okay. We've been with Zach for a while now, a couple of years. And yesterday, after we did our podcast with him, just nonchalantly, he was like, hey, Amy, your accounts are up 28%. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, that's awesome. It's really, really great. Y'all, he cares about making your money grow. He wants you to succeed like you're somebody in his family or his inner circle. And if you succeed, he's succeeding. And I love that. So many of these guys and women out there, they just get your accounts and they don't do jack squat with them. He actually cares. His whole team cares about you. They're responsive. They're knowledgeable. They're awesome. I cannot recommend them enough. And he's having a no obligation webinar. So you just want to see for yourself how awesome he is. You can check it out on October 2nd at 3:30 Pacific. He'll share insights about the market, answer questions. It's free. There's no obligation. October 2nd at 3:30 Pacific. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com and you can sign up. It's knowyourriskpodcast.com. Check it out. Do I need to read the thing? Okay. Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk and not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 25298, whatever that means. Okay.
All right. Let's talk about how ridiculous David Hogg is for a moment. He has so much ego that I almost couldn't believe this was real, but it is real. So he decided to make Charlie Kirk's assassination about him. He thinks, genuinely, I really believe this, he thinks that he is the Charlie Kirk of his side. That's how absolutely
egomaniacal he is?
Yes, okay. Because this is a real tweet. He said, if I ever get killed by one of these right-wingers, politicize the F out of my death immediately. I'm talking before my blood runs cold, and use it to pass as many gun laws as possible and raise as much money as you can to primary Dems who refuse to support gun laws. I'm saying this because I know Fox News will say it's wrong to politicize my death and it's too soon. F that, it's too late. Also use that money to defeat Republicans who don't support stronger gun laws too, obviously.
Oh my God.
Dude, it is not about you. It is not about
It's not about you. And stop. Oh my God. Right?
Just and it's also insane.
And it's also not about the guns. Again, with these people always wanting to make it about the guns. That's not what it's about, David. Take all the seats, child.
Every last seat.
You can't even sit at the adult table because you can't have adult discussions.
And if that wasn't bad enough, we've also got the usual suspects trying desperately to make a connection between Charlie Kirk's assassination and Israel.
Oh my God.
I don't know why, but they are. It's like all they can think about. Ian Carroll, one of the worst, and of course, super tight with Candace Owens, almost immediately, on Thursday said Israel killed Charlie Kirk. And then the next day backtracked, did a whole podcast episode. He said, to clarify, my current stance is not that Israel did it. My stance is that the story we are being told is obviously all or partially lies, and Israel is the most likely perpetrator. He's saying Israel got a hold of Tyler Robinson and was like, hey, can you take care of this guy?
Hey, hi, this is Israel calling. Hey. Can you go ahead and can they just stop?
These people are absolute lunatics here.
They're just mental cases.
Totally. So the 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I think it was, he said yesterday, because that's, so this when did the shooting happen? Was it a Wednesday? I think it was a Wednesday.
I think it was Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. So Thursday, he said, yesterday was a turning point for Israel-U.S. relations. Less than 24 hours and the internet already figured out who the most likely culprit was. The internet didn't, just you did. You and your idiotic friend Candace did. He said he was their friend. He basically dedicated his life to them and they murdered him in front of his family. Israel just shot themselves. I'm sorry, but that to me sounds like he's saying Israel did it. So for him to backtrack the next day and say, what we just read, to clarify, it's not that they did it, it's that they're most likely the perpetrator. That's the same thing. That's the same thing.
It is the same thing.
They
didn't do it. They just did it.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, don't you see the difference?
Who takes this guy seriously? I mean, there are people out there that do. They just hang on his every word. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, oh my God, Candace, you guys. So she is at it also. She tweeted out, Charlie Kirk was fighting with some very powerful billionaires that he took money from over things he was discussing. The pressure on him was immense over the last 2 weeks. The truth will be revealed, the messages will be leaked, and the movement he built will rise up. She went on to attack Bill Ackman. She talked about like a whole Hamptons meeting at which Bill Ackman threatened Charlie to stop like exploring Israel. All of it was nonsense. And Bill Ackman wrote a huge response to it. I don't know, maybe even last night or this morning, saying she is completely defaming me. Here's exactly what happened at that meeting. And that has been backed up by some of Charlie's closest.
A turning point. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's out of her mind.
Right.
Out of her mind.
It's just vulture-like behavior. Friends just don't do this. They don't, chase engagement off of a friend's death. They just don't do that. It's just unimaginable to me. I don't understand this behavior. I don't.
And she claims to have like all of these text messages that support her theories that she's going to release as soon as these people like deny it. And so she's doing this drip, drip, drip kind of version of it because she wants to continue getting all the clicks and all the engagement. If she had evidence and she wanted to show it and be done with it.
Right.
All of this, like, I'm just going to release a little bit here and there and just tease you all. F that. You are not a friend to him if that's what you're doing with his death.
Without question, Ma. It's this.
Oh my God.
It's just so great. It's vulture behavior.
It is.
It's disgusting to me.
She also said in response to, there was a tweet from Mario Nawfal talking about the FBI that, had said that we're not ruling out that others may have helped radicalize or help Charlie Kirk's alleged killer. And she said, we know they're lying. If they would prefer to try another BS narrative before my show on Monday, we would be happy to shred that one too. Because again, she says she's got all the receipts. And so she's just teasing us all with them instead of just saying, here's what I've got. Here's what I know.
She's in it for herself. This is just so gross.
And then when JD did the show yesterday, Tucker was one of his guests. He had a lot of people speaking about Charlie. Tucker was one of them, unfortunately. And of course, Tucker used that opportunity to dunk on Netanyahu because apparently Netanyahu memorialized Charlie too much. And so it made Tucker uncomfortable. And he said, I don't think it's helpful for people, particularly foreign heads of state, to jump in and say he lived for my cause or whatever. That's disgusting. Actually, it's also literally untrue. Netanyahu did not say that. He simply acknowledged that there was a terrible thing that happened to Charlie and that he was a supporter of Israel. And that freaking made Tucker lose his mind. It makes Candace lose her mind. And she's saying, all will be revealed.
Yeah.
My God.
I mean, you can go look. There's a video of him talking to somebody in the audience who was asking about like this corner of the internet who is just like completely anti-Semitic and blaming everything on the Jews. And he said, it's demonic.
Yeah.
Those are his words, not mine.
But now Candace is trying to say that Charlie was coming over to her line of thinking, her side of thinking about Israel, that he was considering converting to Catholicism. She's just saying all the things.
Well, I don't believe that unless I hear it directly from him. And I never heard that directly from him. So I don't believe her.
I wonder if and when Erica is going to address some of the stuff. I don't know that she will. I kind of wish she would, but you know, she's obviously going through some things right now, and I don't have any expectations on her at all. But Candace is so egregious about her hatred for Israel. She doesn't recognize that she is the one who has been creating all of these Israeli narratives. So this next clip you're about to see is from her show, where she was like, Greta Van Susteren had to ask Netanyahu if he was involved in Charlie's death. So because she had to ask, that means he's a terrible person. Because if you even have to ask that question, that just shows how awful you are, not owning the fact that she is the one putting these rumors into the ether. So yeah, Greta's going to ask because you have made this a thing. And so the fact that she doesn't recognize her own role it's just insane. So here's the clip of her, and just watch her mean, pinchy face while Bibi is talking to Greta. It's just disgusting.
And it's not a good sign when somebody has to ask you, as Greta Van Susteren asked Bibi Netanyahu in his secondary hit regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. It's not a good sign if somebody even has to ask if you did have anything to do with the assassination. Doesn't make you a great person, okay? God. And that's what she asked him. Take a listen.
Before I let you go, I want you to address one thing, and it's just the absurdity of it. Some of the internet rumors that somehow Israel is behind the Charlie Kirk murder, and I don't believe it for 1 second. But I want you to make a statement. It's so absurd.
That's insane. That's insane. Israel also changes the orbit of the moon. Israel pushes the sun. I mean, the whole thing it's not only insane, I think it's so absurd, so stupid, and so ridiculous. You can't believe that people are saying that. They just found the perpetrator. They'll get to the bottom of this. But they go, they have no limits. When you hate Jews, when you hate the Jewish state, you're willing to say anything and promote all these absurd rumors. And by the way, they're willing to kill us all the time. I mean, that's what they're doing. And over the centuries, when Jews, especially in the Middle Ages, the horrific Middle Ages, the worst things were said about Jews you couldn't possibly believe. We were poisoning the wells. We were drinking the blood of Christian children. You name it. I mean, these things, that continued actually up to the Holocaust. The Nazis said the same thing. We're carrying vermin, we're spreading disease. And people believed it. And every time they believed it, this was a prelude to a greater and greater massacre, culminating with the worst massacre of them all, the Holocaust.
Well, he's mentioned the Holocaust. Guess we can't prod the narrative any further, guys. Holocaust. So everybody's just stopped talking about anything. Hey, he's the victim. It's absurd. It's just absurd. The Holocaust happened. You heard him. We're sick of this shit.
Oh my God.
She is the literal worst person on the earth right now. I just cannot get over how awful she is. Nathan Livingstone, he called her playbook perfectly. He said, number one, invent a conspiracy that Israel killed Charlie, spread it through bots. The mainstream media is then compelled to ask Netanyahu, even knowing it's nonsense. You heard Greta say, this is ridiculous, but I got to ask. Look, the fact that the mainstream media is asking the question means something, Candace says. Netanyahu denies it and correctly calls her out and her fellow grifters for blaming the Jews for everything. And she says, see, they're trying to silence us. It's proof that we're right. That is precisely how she operates, and it is vile. Absolutely vile.
I still want to know what's going on with the whole Macron's wife has a dick thing. I still want to know.
Didn't she release like a whole second season of that?
I still need to know what's going on with that whole crazy nonsense stuff. I need to know what's going on.
I think she's released a whole second season.
Really? Are they suing her? Like, what's happening? I need to know.
You know how long lawsuits take. All of it is forever.
Just everything. So, wow. The fact it just like, I'm sorry. I cannot get past the whole, we were great friends. Here's this montage of us being great friends. I think that he was a great friend to her. That's what I think. I think he was a great friend to her.
I mean, she's certainly not being a friend to him the way that she is behaving right now. It is disgusting.
Like I said, I think it ended with he was a great friend to her. That's it. It ended right there.
And about that whole, Hamptons meeting, Charlie's business partner said, I've been asked about the Bill Ackman event more than a few times now, so I asked our staff who were traveling with Charlie to find out what's true and what's not. His team was with him 100% of the time when he wasn't in his hotel room. Here's what they told me. Quote, Bill never yelled at Charlie, never pressed him on Bibi, never gave him a list of Charlie's offenses against Israel. There was concern raised about having Tucker at one of their events. We don't believe this came from Bill. And Charlie's reply was, honestly, people telling me not to have Tucker makes me want to have Tucker, and I'm going to lock him in for AmFest too. Charlie personally told me he had a very cordial relationship with Bill and that the event was productive. Those are the facts. And Josh Hammer said, I was also there, and everything Andrew says here is accurate.
I believe that. I believe all of that.
Just freaking suck it, Candace.
I believe every bit of that. Because that's who Charlie was. I do. 100% of it, I believe.
He platformed plenty of people he disagreed with.
That's what he did. That was his whole thing. He was like, I'll talk to you disagree with me, come to the front of the line. And that goes for conservatives too, And he was like, I'll love you, whatever. I mean, it's fine. I may not agree with it, but I'll still love you. Yeah, just vultures, man. Vultures.
She's just
gross
horrific
to see.
You guys, if you are having trouble getting in all of your fruits and veggies, we have the cheat code for you. It is this amazing product, Field of Greens, a green health powder that you just mix in some water and you get all the benefits of fruits and veggies.
The best life hack ever. You can lower your body's biological age, you guys. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Like, I want to be the grandma one day who's running around with a bunch of grandkids. No canes, no walkers. No aches or pains. I want to be the one who looks and feels younger than I actually am. And my problem is my Cheez-It addiction. And
Same with my husband.
And this time of year, I love candy corn. I know I'm going to start a firestorm in the comments with that one, but I love candy corn and I am terrible about eating my fruits and veggies. So Field of Greens is a true life hack because, the one thing I'm really good about is drinking my water every single day. And I can put this in my water and stay hydrated. Then I also get some fruits and veggies because it's hot here in Texas and I stay hydrated. And one of my drinks every single day is my Field of Greens because it tastes like sweet tea. There's one that tastes like sweet tea. It's the one that's like the yellow container.
It's the lemon lime thing. I think it's lemon lime.
And it's just so good. And I can do that every day. That is my life hack. And so that is how I get in the extra fruits and veggies that I'm not getting in every day because I'm not perfect, you guys. But they can help slow aging. They can help you out with all the things like maintaining a healthy weight, metabolism, heart, lungs, kidneys, all that kind of stuff. So check it out. Get 20% off at fogchicks.com. Use promo code CHICKS. That's fogchicks.com. Promo code CHICKS. Do it.
Batya Ungar-Sargon. She was on the Piers Morgan program, and this was shortly after, probably the next day or the day after Charlie's death, and she was talking about how torn she felt about, making peace, I guess, with the other side. And she's always so good at articulating
the best,
just like everything. And so this was just spot on. The reason that she's having trouble, I think it's the reason we're all having trouble. Here's Batya.
I'm finding myself very caught between, on the one hand, wanting to honor his legacy of unity through debate and coming together to take down the temperature, and then wanting to honor his legacy of telling the truth. And the truth is, this is not a both sides issue. The killer killed him, according to police reports, because he found Charlie Kirk to be spreading hate. This is a view shared by every single prominent Democrat. Yes, there are people on Blue Sky advocating for violence, but what actually caused this was the utterly quotidian, utterly ubiquitous demonization of the political opposition from the left. And it has just led to violence because they said the other side were Hitler and Nazis. They said that speech is violence. To combine those two things together is to sign the death warrant of prominent conservatives.
Yes.
And that is what we are seeing again and again and again. And it is utterly facetious to suggest that there is any comparison between political violence on both sides. Every example they bring is not actually showing that, whether it's Governor Shapiro, whose attempted assassination was from a Free Palestine leftist, or whether it was the Minnesota assassinations, which were from somebody who said he was operating at the behest of Democrat Governor Tim Walz. There is a culture among Democrats at the highest level to suggest that their political opposition are a danger, and that suggests that their lives are forfeit. And I want to come together. I do. I love what Shank said. It brought tears to my eyes. I had to reach for a tissue while you were playing Charlie's words. But at the same time, we cannot unite with people who are lying to our faces about who we are, who will not take responsibility for the fact that they suggested that we are Nazis because of totally legitimate views that reflect the majority of Americans. So what I say is, let the left say we were wrong. It is legitimate to vote for Donald Trump. It is legitimate to be pro-life. It is legitimate to believe that there are only two genders, and we were wrong to suggest that that was not the case. We were wrong to say that that is hateful. When they say that, I am waiting with open arms to take down the temperature.
Right. We are not the same. We're not the same. And it's so inconvenient for them. Like the guys on that panel who are liberal were shaking their heads and they're like, but can you actually dispute what she's saying? Because you can't. She's 150% correct on all of that. And we are not the same. And that is so incredibly inconvenient and uncomfortable for these people because they have to accept that they're wrong.
Yeah, that's a big thing for the left to reckon with, to grapple with.
Right. They're actually not the victims. They're wrong.
And she also talked about how, considering the fact that, you know, I think it's an easy statement to make that most gun owners are right wing for the most part. And yet our guns just don't go out and kill people. It's so weird. And so kind of the Democrats are actually sort of admitting that they have a problem. Here she is to explain. Right here.
One side of the political aisle in America is heavily armed, and it's the other side that commits the vast majority of political violence. You know, there's a tacit admission from the left that their side is the violent side, because if somebody, God forbid, if a big left-wing influencer, God forbid, was killed, what they would be doing immediately is boarding up every single major city in America, because there would be rioting and looting. People would die. We know that tens, if not hundreds of people died during the BLM riots. And obviously, none of that has happened, and none of that is expected to happen, despite the fact that the right, whose avatar was just murdered in cold blood, is heavily armed, right? So there is this tacit understanding from the left, even as they call the right the source of all the political violence, and fascists and Nazis and what have you, that actually the right will not pick up their arms and turn on their leftist neighbors, right? They rely on the forbearance of their conservative neighbors who are much more heavily armed not to actually take revenge.
Exactly right.
All the guys on the panel are like, I'm really pissed off I showed up today. Really?
Very, very uncomfortable right now.
Not say anything against this woman because she's way smarter than me. Yeah, because she is.
She is. And I don't know how she does it, man. She can just rattle off those ideas without hesitation. Where I'm like,
and she's right.
Yeah, she is. Megyn Kelly has just been in like random furies about this on her programs. It's just a delight. I love it when she gets super angry. It's my favorite Megyn. And by the way, she made a point yesterday to let everybody know that she is not canceling her tour. She's taking her show on the road and has absolutely no intentions of canceling it. She is going to add security, I'm sure, but she wanted everybody to know that she is not canceling. Here she is with some of her fury, I think yesterday.
Fuck these people and their revisionism, their unwillingness to see what's obvious. Clearly, he had hatred in his heart for Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is the one who got executed.
Right.
Charlie Kirk. He did not go out and shoot a member of the squad. It's just, how do we reason with these people? It's like it's right there in front of your face. This kid got radicalized and obviously had some sort of a psychotic break. That's the other piece of it. How many times do we have to see this shit? Like, I'm not surprised one bit to learn he was 22. Not even a little.
Right.
That he was a young man. We've seen this happen over and over. I am disturbed to see he appears to have come from a loving, intact family. And just by disturbed, I mean, were there any warning signs? Usually you look at like the background and you see something, you see a repeated mental health history. And to be honest, maybe there will be one. And I'm not ruling out, oh God, there was that time he killed the family cat. That can still come out. Who knows?
She's right.
Yep.
She's totally right. But I am so sick and tired of the podcast, the pundits, the people on the left being like, he was MAGA. He was just like, they're grasping. He was a right winger. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. STFU. Take all the seats.
It was funny yesterday to see Whoopi Goldberg like have this moment of realization where she was like, wow, there's like this groundswell of support and newfound interest in participating in the political process since Charlie's death. So she had this message for her audience. I don't think she's particularly happy to be delivering it because she is realizing it's not over. It's nowhere close to over. And as Erica Kirk said, they have no idea what has been unleashed. Here is what Whoopi said yesterday.
And what assassins should always remember is just because you take somebody out doesn't mean the message is going to stop.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's important to keep that in mind because when you look at our loss of Martin Luther King or name anyone who's been assassinated in this country, we continue to fight on.
She's like, oh,
she's like,
it's not over now.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Over.
Shit is right, Whoopi.
Bill Maher is another person on the left who welcomes conversations with people with whom he disagrees, and I appreciate Bill for that. He, of course, had Charlie on his show not terribly long ago, and he recently had Bill Burr on right after Charlie was killed, and he is struggling. Like, he's really struggling with this news. He's raging about it. Here's what he said to Bill Burr.
Look, I might drink a little more than usual today because, I don't know when this is airing, but this is a shit day because the guy who sat there, Charlie Kirk, got shot
Billy
today.
Corgan.
And I can't stop thinking.
I always get them confused.
It's Billy Corgan. Everybody got him confused with Bill Burr. It's not Bill Burr. It's Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins. Two totally different people.
Aren't they really the same people?
They're not the same people. Bill Burr is the comedian. Billy Corgan is from the Smashing Pumpkins. They do look very...
I'm pretty sure they're related, though. Wasn't there that whole episode about how they have the same dad?
They may have the same dad. They look very similar, but they're not the same person. But yes, people were getting them confused yesterday on Twitter. They're not the same person. But anyways, continue.
Man, they
Billy
really
Corgan.
Do.
Billy
they
Corgan,
really
that's
look
who
like
it is.
The same person.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, here he's irrelevant anyway in this clip. Just pay attention to Bill Maher.
Right.
And
neither can I.
And we shouldn't. And if you're on the other side of the political divide and you don't care because the wrong team guy got shot, fuck you. You're what's wrong with this country.
Yup.
He's right.
I'm glad that there's a little bit of reason on that side. It's not enough, but the Democrats are struggling and they're trying to say the ones that are actually in political positions now are trying to distance themselves from some of the ridiculous comments that they have made in the past. JB Pritzker yesterday was like, I've never said anything that would, never related Trump to Nazis. You can't find anything like that I've ever said. So someone decided to, let's just take a trip down memory lane,
Let's do it. Let's do that.
I mean, that is completely false. I have never called Republicans Nazis.
Everything that he has done has been tearing down constitutional democracy. And that's what happened in Nazi Germany. It doesn't take very long to tear apart a constitutional republic. Indeed, the Nazis did it in 53 days. And our democracy is almost as fragile. And we're seeing it right now. The dangers that we saw in Nazi Germany especially in the earliest days of Nazi Germany, are the dangers that we need to react to now.
Oh, really?
If we don't, things will get much, much worse. And so we've got to raise alarm bells to everybody. It's a 5-alarm fire, everyone.
Oh, okay. Right.
I mean,
what?
Just don't even try it,
Just
JB.
shut up, Pritzker.
We're on to you.
We
for
seen
crying
you.
out loud.
The internet lives forever. God, he's such a lying sack of crap.
And the fact that he wants to be president, I can't.
Right.
I cannot.
Exactly. And we're going to remind him of all of those tweets and all of those interviews. We're going to keep reminding him. All of these people did it. They all were like, he's Hitler. They're Nazis. He's Hitler. They're Nazis. Do what you got to do to take him down. They did this.
CNN, there was, I don't know who this person is, but somebody on CNN was talking about the fact that Trump is, he had flags lowered to half-mast. He's attending this big memorial service in Phoenix. He is going to be posthumously awarding Charlie Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And this commentator on CNN just doesn't understand why Charlie is getting all this special treatment, you guys, because we've never done this before in similar circumstances, which I don't even know what circumstances she's talking about, but here is the idiot I refer to.
I mean, and I think the point as well is rarely have we ever seen an administration, and not just the president, but all of his top aides, the vice president included, act or react to a moment like this in such a deeply personal way. And that's what I think to me has been so striking to see, the way that they, he ordered flags to be flown at half-mast. He is going to honor Charlie Kirk posthumously with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I mean, these are things that are a very different response to what we've seen in other cases like this.
What are the other cases? What are the other cases? When has somebody on our side assassinated somebody on your side for being not a Nazi? I'm sorry. Can you give me? Can you cite a case where that has happened?
Please show your work. Please show your work.
Give us a footnote. I'd like to see it. I don't.
This is freaking
crazy. Because it's never happened. It's never happened. We are literally careening off a cliff right now because you guys have led us in the direction of this. This is what's happening.
And because the Krasensteins are just despicable little, just awful people. Megyn even couldn't believe this. She was like, is this a joke? But Ed Krasenstein tweeted 2 days ago, imagine being a transgender person in America today with all of the hate and demonization that's being directed at them. I mean, you can't make this up.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. I feel so terrible for them.
It must be so hard for them.
It must be awful for them right now. It must be terrible. Wow. Okay.
Ridiculous. Ed. And then there was a clip. I think the show is called Breaking Points. It's like a trio. It's Crystal Ball, Emily Jashinsky, and some other dude that do this show together. And they were talking about the impact that Charlie's death was going to have. And Crystal Ball actually said it's going to be less of an impact than Luigi Mangione because Luigi is better looking than Charlie Kirk. I kid you not. You're about to hear it.
She did not just say that.
She said it. And I got to say, I'm disappointed in Emily's reaction because I hope that there was conversation after this where she was like, that was wildly inappropriate. But the initial reaction, not particularly great. Here is the moment.
Yeah. Well, and he's not as good looking as Mangione, so it'll be less inspirational for people.
Is she laughing?
Tell me I'm wrong, Em.
I don't see any Hawaiian. I don't see any.
And she laughed? She laughed at that?
She laughed at that.
I would have been like, you're an idiot.
That's just disgusting.
You are
disgusting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, delete every account you have.
Yeah, just
her name
get
is
offline.
Crystal Ball. That's your name. Sorry.
That was the thought that she had, and then thought, I'm going to say that out loud. I'm going to put that out there because that seems right.
And then she laughed at it? Like, it's not funny.
No, it's disgusting.
Gross.
All right. I'm sorry, you guys, but we're going to cut it short and just go straight to thank yous now because I got to get myself to a doctor. Karen Morisco said, what is a woman? Erica Kirk. Love you all. Keep fighting loudly. Colleen W. said, to clarify, I didn't mean to insinuate that you have hate in your hearts. Just a PSA reminder for all. Characters were limited. Love you, ladies. This is from yesterday. MJ Hitke said, the kid who allegedly unalived Charlie Kirk is the exact type of person Charlie was trying to prevent by going to college campuses. Radicalized youth due to public institutions. It breaks my heart. And then from our ball pit crew yesterday, the day before, Living the Gen Life said, to believe that any words justify murder is not strength, but sign of a weak mind. And she is, of course, 100% correct about that. Now you.
Marcy Parallels. Good morning, Mock and Daisy. Sending prayers for Mock's quick recovery and continued prayers for Daisy's hubby's rehab. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Marcy. Brian Brumley. Don Lemon is a disgusting scumbag. Also, of course, why are you gay? I've been dying to ask that for days. Thank you, Brian. Colleen. Don Lemon. This wouldn't even be a moment if people didn't care. That's right. Brian Brumley. I asked Grok what Candace would be diagnosed with. Result, delusional disorder. Paranoid ideation, schizophrenia, cognitive bias, PTSD, paranoia, depression, constipation, diarrhea, and likely gay.
Oh my gosh.
Bo Mama 8. These idiots have confused the difference between free speech and hate speech. Again, they're not the same. More accountability needs to happen. Yes. C News. R.I.P. Robert Redford.
He died?
He died today. When did he die? What did he die of? Can I look that up really quick? Can I look that up really quick?
Yeah, look that up. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm assuming because he was really, really
died at
old.
age 89. He died in his home in Utah. I didn't know that. That literally happened like 8 minutes ago. I got, oh my God. Thank you, C News, for letting us know
thanks
that.
for
He was a
thanks for
hottie.
that.
I don't really.
He was.
Politics
I don't
aside,
like blondes, but he was pretty hot.
Yeah, politics aside, he was a hottie back in the day. We're just going to give that to him. And really great actor. So there's that.
Yeah.
That sucks. You guys bring it in. Mock, I hope you get better.
Thanks.
Let me know what's going on. You guys have a wonderful Tuesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.